Hey, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I'm Blitz with the Survival Outpost, the head honcho in charge here, and I just want to thank you for taking a little time out of your day to hang out with me and talk survival. In this video, I'm putting my custom survival kit to the test to see if it actually works, because if this is all I have and my survival depends on it, I damn sure need to test it out and make sure it works. So that's what we're going to do today. You guys have probably seen these kits before, or maybe you have built them yourselves, the classic Altoids survival kit. This one, I basically used the SAS Survival guide as a baseline for making it, and then I added my own little tweaks and modifications. So we're going to crack this open and see if it's worth all the hype and the time and energy and money that people put into them. Let's get it. Here we have the good old survival kit in a can, which is the perfect size for everyday carry. The concept here is simple. This kit is your backup. This is your go-to if you get detached from your pack and you have no other gear. You still have this kit on your person, and it should be versatile enough to save your ass in an actual survival situation. Now let's have a look at the kit. The container I chose is a metal tobacco tin. I picked up like a 3-pack of these on eBay a while back, and I just kind of break them out into their own different types of kits. This is sealed up with electrical tape and wrapped with a generous portion of jute twine and bank line. When building this kit, I had to consider bare bones survival. Water, of course, is extremely important. Fire is vital, and then food is also nice to have, and then also you got to consider that medical component. So with this first build, I tried to cover all those bases. Got the compass, the knife, band-aids, wound closure strips, which I hope they work. I've never actually had to use them before, so that's kind of an assumption on my part. Half of a compact towel, tinfoil condom, and then the rest of the kit is stuffed in these handy everyday carry tins that I picked up recently, which I will say are a way better option for keeping everything organized than just stuffing everything inside that tin and then trying to get it closed. Let's have a look at them real quick. The first tin is duct tape, which of course there's a ton of survival uses for duct tape, and it takes up barely any room, so got that tossed in there. I also have these super tiny chem lights and then some water purification tabs. Next, here's the fishing kit, which just makes sense for me since I'm surrounded by water. If I was trying to survive in the desert, maybe not so much. Got the fishing line, a few sinkers, eyelets, and then a mix of hooks. Now in the last tin, that's the fire kit. Matches, striking paper, and 2 magnesium caps. And then don't forget that the jute twine I had wrapped around the outside of the container is flammable. So of course, what purpose would this video even serve if I didn't actually test the damn kit? So let's go ahead and get started with the first test, which is kind of a big one. It's utilizing a lot of the different pieces and parts from the kit, but it's a simple mission. Find water, collect water, and then purify water. Listen, I'm here in Florida, so water is a very easy find, and what other better way to collect that water than with a condom? Now, I will say this is a first for me. I don't know about you, but the condom has always been dedicated to a singular purpose. So standing out here, breaking out the raincoat when it ain't raining, kind of weird, but anyways, the condom worked excellent. The tide was rolling in a bit, and then it just turned out to be super easy to collect a bit of water. Next step is to start a fire to boil the water using that tinfoil, basically making a little cup. But non-stop wind and rain kind of made the idea of a normal fire a no-go. So, hey, there's always trash. I don't care where you are in the woods, whether you're deep in the backcountry or just out here in an area like this that's really doesn't get too much traffic every once in a while. There's always going to be trash around. Humans are messy like that, and they do me a huge favor because instead of making a normal fire, I decided to make a hobo stove. And now, here is exactly why you train with your gear. Who would have thought the match paper would have soaked up all the moisture in the tin, rendering it a big fat fail. Now, of course, it's a good thing that I always, everyday carry EDC, a Bic. Anyways, the struggle was real, I'm telling you. It took nearly 45 minutes to keep that fire going, long enough to actually bring the water to boil. And then, I mean, when I say boil, I mean a slight boil. And the fire went out again. So I basically gave up at that point in time. I figured I can risk it a little bit. I'm gonna throw in my water purification tabs just to be safe. And then finally I had clean water. Now what's the takeaway here? I'm thinking it's probably a good idea to go with strike anywhere matches, and then having a look at the space that I have to work with, because I have to be very intentional about it. Do I really need this Gerber? I don't know about you, but I do not step in the forest without my primary blade. So if I have that on me, and that's the assumption that it will always be on my belt, then there's no need for the Gerber, and I can honestly ditch that and swap it out for a mini Bic, which gives me more fire starter redundancy. Now for the next and final test, which is actually using the fishing kit. Lucky for me, the perfect fishing pole candidate was standing right there in front of me, and no, I did not use the Gerber to cut it down because that would suck and take forever. And like I said, the assumption is I will have my primary blade on me. But I wonder if I only had that Gerber, that would be a real pain in the ass. But anyways, I didn't use it. I used my Moore, got this thing trimmed down, taken down real quick. The eyelets proved super easy to screw in, and then just the final step was to secure that fishing line to the eyelets and rig it. Now I am 100% far from a fishing expert, total noob, right? I've fished maybe like 4 or 5 times back in Tennessee and a little bit back here in Florida, but I can watch YouTube. I appreciate the content on YouTube. I found this basic tutorial on how to do a drop shot rig. This looks effective, but I have no idea if it works or if it's good for this part of the shallows of the river. But I do know one thing, that having the weight on the line did enable me to get that line out and sunk versus just having the hook on there. I totally wish I had footage of the rig. I tried to get some decent shots of it, but I was just losing daylight, and my camera, it needs daylight to function. If it doesn't have daylight, everything turns out like crap. I practice what I preach, and I'm so glad that I do, because getting out there and testing this kit and working with it was an amazing learning experience. And now I know literally what works and what doesn't, and I've evolved this now to version 2. I swapped out that Gerber for the mini Bic. I only just decided to keep the stair strips, got rid of the band-aids and any other medical related equipment, because honestly, unless you're dedicating this to a complete medical kit, you're not going to be able to solve much with any sort of medical things you can put in here that you couldn't take care of with a bandana or maybe some strips from your t-shirt. I thought it made more sense to put a tighter focus on fire and water, and then I tossed in some artificial bait as well, because I was out there and I'm like, where are all the crabs at? The crabs are usually all over the beach, and there's no crabs out, and I guess it's just too cold. So apart from that, and there's not exactly an abundance of worms everywhere, and it's not like something I can really go digging well for, I had to have some sort of artificial bait, and that pretty much rounded out the entire kit. Hey, so thanks a lot for watching, guys. That's all I have on the concept of a survival kit in a can. I will see you down there in the comments. Let's have a chat. Tell me about your experiences building these kits out. I know some of you guys have done that. At a bare minimum, I know you're probably aware of the concept. So let's talk about that, and talk about, have you actually gotten out and trained with it? Because I can tell you one thing, guys, getting out with this kit and training with it was an amazing learning experience. And if you're lacking on motivation, I've talked about them before, the Warrior Tribe has got your back. It's a collective of like-minded people, all interested in survival and fitness and every other aspect of being a self-reliant individual. So go check out their link down there in the pinned post. Merry Christmas to everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Show your support for the channel by checking out the wide range of survival gear available at thesurvivaloutpost.com. We stock only top quality, rugged, tactical equipment and apparel designed to support any mission or situation life may throw your way. Any gear you've seen in this video is linked up down there in the pinned post, and be sure to check out the suggested videos for more real-world survival content and training.